So autoimmune condition is a health challenge where you find your immune system instead of working for you. So your immune system is like your soldiers that protects you in case you have any infection or there's any virus. But with this, your immune system wakes up one day and it's confused and it's rather attacking you, the host of the body. It's a medical condition that most people go through.
So this is something that started in your childhood?
Growing up, I had a lot of health challenges. My mom tells me that as a baby, I was quite different from my other 6 siblings because she had a lot of doctor's appointments with me. And when I started growing up, I realized that I wasn't every day on the go kind of child. Mostly I'll get temperatures, and they all started as allergies.
Okay.
So things that my bodies couldn't work with. If you have issues with allergies, it's just your body telling you that if you give me this, I'm not able to work with it for you. And looking back and trying to understand when the condition got serious, I realized that milk was something that my body wasn't able to process. So as a child, I was allergic to milk. I was lactose intolerant, but we couldn't pinpoint what exactly it was. So anytime we would come back from school with my other siblings, we'll save some of our monies to do Gary soakings. Right after I'm done, then my temperature goes up. So I was allergic to a lot of things which were causing my health which was causing me not to be a healthy child when growing up. Yeah, so mostly I had a lot of health challenges that started off as allergies. And then I had measles, which was, my measles came very late. I should be around 10 years old when I had measles, but it was so terrible. And at that time, we didn't know that my immune system wasn't doing too good to help me fight it. So I coughed for like 3 months, coughing blood. Yes, the doctors were worried. We did all the tests. They even went ahead to do tuberculosis, but it came out okay. But then, because I was still coughing blood for over 6 months, they still put me on the TB immunization, which wasn't good for me as a child. So I had the injection for a month. Every morning, my mom would take me to have the injection. She was worried. She was trying her best to make sure that her child would have a normal life.
Yeah.
So I think even taking the immunization of the tuberculosis also had an effect on my immunity.
It sort of like worsened it
as a child.
Okay.
Yeah, so it had been series of doctor's appointments here and there, and in my teens it got bad. I had 2 different major surgeries that were supposed to have corrected whatever it was that my body was going through.
But at that time, had doctors found out exactly what was wrong?
The funny thing is, with autoimmune, they are not able to know until it blows out.
Okay.
So what it does is, it gives you a series of symptoms, and over the years, your symptoms will increase.
Okay.
So your doctors will try treating the symptoms that are coming through. They won't know until it is fully blown out. Yeah. So autoimmune is not something that is easy to identify. Even when they get to know that you have an autoimmune condition, we have 80 different types of autoimmune condition.
80?
80. And it takes the doctors close to 7 to 8 years to be able to tell you the kind and the type that your body is going through.
So what was the kind that your body was going through?
The journey was an overwhelming one for me. And once I found the link between food and restoration, I stopped with going through the pharmaceutical way to find the answers. So we did quite a few. We did lupus, which was the most serious type of autoimmune. We did MS, quite a few of them. I couldn't go through with all 80 because it is so expensive. and financially draining. It drained my pocket. It took everything out of me. So I didn't pursue to really know which kind it was.
Right.
Once I started finding other ways of relieving my body from whatever it was going through.
Okay, now let's come to Grandma's recipes. Exactly what Grandma's recipes was doing for you.
So my grandma was a very traditional woman. Growing up, we never bought food outside. She was that type of woman who would make sure that there's constant food in the house, even for the neighbors as well. So she had this backyard garden where she grew everything we ate in the house. Okay. So we had kontomire. I come from a Muslim background as well. So we have the ayoyo, which is the green leaf we use for TZ soup. We had alefi. There were greens on our plate every single meal. So in the evenings, she would go pick her tomatoes, her pepper, pick her onions, spring onions. There were guava in the garden, pawpaw. So I was nourished. Once I spent some time with Grandma, I won't have the reactions I would get.
Okay.
Yes, I won't have the doctor's appointment I would get. So when the health issues started coming up years after, I went back to find the link between the restoration of my health with food and with Grandma's recipes.